welcome to another episode of Shooting
the Shit with Rachel
and Neal Young. We're talking all things real estate photography business growth, mindset, and getting it done. Here come your favorite true entrepreneurs, Rachel and Neal Young, shooting the shit.
I have a ferret on the Like if we're kind of in a slump, like what kind of things do you do?
Talking about a boob light.
Straddling a power line.
Nice photo.
Ooh, I need that.
I'm like red right now because I'm embarrassed. I go like this. I love it.
Hey, come in.
Sure. Use your podcast voice.
You know, over here, I'm pitting out.
Drone's like flipping to the ground.
That's a great callback.
Chit-chatting.
Is that what you call that?
Hey! Rach, who do you love?
HD Photo Hub.
Today's episode is brought to you by HD Photo Hub.
The platform real estate photographers trust.
And so do we, because Rach and I both use it on a daily basis.
Check it out.
Check it out.
Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out.
Chickadee, check it before you wreck it. Part 2 of why and how to get yourself on camera for your business.
Mm-hmm. Let's go. It's time.
Let's do it.
Time to jump in and time to get over those hangups in your mind. And that's why today we're going to talk about mindset. Right, Neal?
Yes, indeed. Mindset. And we're going to talk about some of the biggest fears that we hear people have, the things that are holding them back from getting on camera, and some tips to help with that, to defeat it, to get past it, to win.
Yes. We want to help you win because winning is great.
You're a winner, gosh darn it.
You go, girl, or boy.
It's the worst motivation intro ever.
Woo! All right, let's dig into it. We're like mindset.
Yeah, let's do it.
The number one thing that I hear from people, not only when I'm doing video work with people, but also lifestyle photos and headshots, is I don't like how I look and I don't like how I sound. I sound weird on camera, which I agree. My voice sounds weird when I listen to it. Obviously now with the podcast, I've heard it enough. I don't care. But at first you're like, what? That's what I sound like? And like to you, it's weird, but that's what everybody else has always heard. They've never heard anything else different. So it's not weird to them. So just know it is your voice. There's really not a lot you can do about it, you know? So don't worry. If you can change your inflection, right? And the way you speak and the authority and the confidence that comes through in your voice, you can control all of that. So that's something that you could use to improve your speaking skills. But the tone of your voice, you're stuck with it. Sorry.
Yeah. If you try to talk with a different pitch, you're just going to sound even worse. So,
right? That'd be exhausting trying to do that all day.
It would be exhausting. You could do it. You could just
right. Or just constantly having an accent.
Talk
Did
with
not
an accent.
try to do an accent.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to work so hard at it. Just be yourself. It's the same thing we say to them when they show up for their photos, like you said, and half the time they're like, I don't like how I look when I get my headshots. It's like, I try to tell them, hey, you're doing that to yourself. Nobody else is doing that to you. Nobody else goes, ooh, wish you looked different in person.
Right?
Same thing with the voice. They hear you. They're not fazed by that.
Exactly.
So just embrace it.
Exactly. And with the looks thing, it's like the same thing. It's what people see every day when you show up to see them. That's how they see you. So if you really seriously do not like how you look, there are plenty of things out there, programs that you can join to change things about yourself. So if it's really bothering you, take the steps to make the change, to become that better version of yourself if it's really holding you back or you're feeling insecure about it. But for the most part, you just are what you are. People see that every day. So it's not unusual to them. And honestly, I don't think anyone ever remembers what you look like or like, not what you look like, but like what you're wearing. People really don't care. You care way more than anyone else about what you're wearing. It's right. Especially women. Women get very hung up on that, including myself.
If you've
that.
Like when you're showing up for your photos or get on video, if you've ever worn that outfit and walked to a meeting or to see people in public, then that's a perfectly fine outfit. Don't overthink those little things. It doesn't, because like that's how you show up in your business every day. Then you either got to change how you show up in your business every day if you don't like it on camera, or you got to go take it down a notch and go, no, this is me.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, Neil, you had some of the best advice, and you said this phrase the other day to me. So I've been wearing acrylic, like fake nails, for
Mm.
like a year and a half. And I
Oh,
love them. They're just fun. Like, I don't
I
know
know where you're
why.
going.
They're just like fancy and it makes everything just, they
Yeah.
like click cool when you do it on, I don't know. They're just kind of fun to play with. Anyways, I've decided this year that I'm going to get rid of them because they're a waste of money. I'm waiting like 3 to 4 weeks between getting them filled, which means they look bad half the time anyway. And it's becoming a pain in my butt. So I quit. I took them off. I was considering taking them off and I talked to Neil about it. And Neil, tell him what you told me.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So I think I said something to the effect of like, "Oh yeah, have you met that girl Rachel? She's really nice. She's really on her game and all, but have you seen really short fingernails? I don't think we can work with her." Things
Exactly.
people never said, you know?
Right? Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
exactly. I just loved how you put that because I was like, oh, that's a good point. Like, no one cares what my
yeah.
fingernails look like.
I
No
think
one's
we
going
all
to judge
do
me
that
for
to
them.
ourselves, though. We nitpick these little things that other people don't care about that,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Honest. Yes. And it's more like you've heard this. It's more about what's on the inside than the outside that matters. Obviously, dress nice, dress to impress. Like, put yourself together, do your hair. Don't look like I look today on the podcast, but try to dress up a little. I'm sorry. I went to the gym today. I went to an open house, took my dog for a walk. Like, it's been a good day. I did some work at the office. So, anywho, yeah, it's more about the way you make people feel when you leave. That is what's more important than what
Yeah.
you're wearing. And when you're on video, it's really the information that you're giving is more interesting and the way you're conveying it and your confidence coming through is way more sticky than your outfit. Unless you're like a fashion icon and then
Right.
obviously it's all about that.
Right.
But
I mean,
we're not.
if your
We are
outfit when you
photographers.
show up in a room, if your outfit when you show up in a room, people gasp like in a bad way, maybe don't wear that outfit.
Yeah.
But like the one you wear on a normal basis and nobody ever flinched at it, you're fine.
Yeah.
You're good. You can wear
Exactly.
that.
Yes. Yes. So we all know people that are really tall, really short, really skinny, really big, like all different shapes and sizes, right? And the ones that stick out to us that we remember are the ones that have the personality and the confidence going forward. Those are the ones that stick out. And it's like when they can just take away their insecurity, not feel insecure at all, but just they're focusing on the other person and they're not worried about themselves, it really makes for a better engagement with that person,
Yeah.
honestly, which leads us into being self conscious, because that's one of the biggest things when you get that camera up in your face. It's like you get super self conscious and you forget your lines, or you clam up, or you like talk different, right? All those
Hmm.
things, Neil. And think about it. If you're self conscious, what does that mean? That means that you're thinking about yourself, right? You're only worried about yourself. So you're worried about the way your hair looks, what you're going to say. What am I doing with my hands? Am I doing the right thing? Right. So if you
Yeah.
shift your focus to other conscious, so you're thinking about someone else instead of yourself, and start thinking about the audience that you're talking to, that's going to take that pressure off of yourself and you're going to put it towards something else that's actually creating something, right? You're not sitting here judging yourself and feeling insecure and worried about yourself. You're actually focusing on the other person on the other end who's going to be receiving this content from you. So if you're giving valuable content, just imagine that you're talking to that client, right? Or you have exciting stuff that they want to hear from you. They want to learn from you. If you
Yeah.
were in person with a broker, like face to face at a house, telling them the information that you're going to say in your reel, you wouldn't be sitting there thinking about what you look like. You wouldn't be worried about your hair or your makeup, maybe a little, but not nearly as much as if you're talking to a camera, right? You're going to be focused on them. Like, how can I explain this the best I can to get my point across? Because I want them to understand this is important information for them to have, and I can really help this person right now. And now they're going to leave and feel like, oh, I really like Rachel because she helped me with my marketing or whatever, right? So try to remember that and keep that in mind when you're filming. I think that's probably the number one tip that's helped me the most when I'm
Right.
filming.
Yeah. Perspective has probably a lot to do with it, I think. Like, if your goal is to be famous, you're gonna wish you were some amazing supermodel, movie star, whatever, and your focus is gonna be on you shining, right? And oh, I don't look perfect. If your focus is on making a friend or helping a friend, I think the perspective totally changes and comes off of yourself, And I think that's what you're saying, right?
Yeah, totally. Yeah,
Mm.
like lean in a little bit more, to quit worrying about yourself and lean into other people. Lean into your audience a little bit and talk to them. Don't worry
Yeah.
about yourself. You look fine.
Look,
It's the information that matters. It's not what you look like, is what I'm saying, basically. It's like the information that you're putting out there is way more valuable to like shift that over to them versus sitting here trying to, because a lot of us just get self-conscious. We just get scared and we're thinking about ourselves all the time. Like, what do I look like? Don't worry about
yeah.
that. How can I help this person? That's what you should
Yeah.
be thinking.
How can I
Right.
give instead of,
Right.
yeah, I think that's the difference between giving and getting,
Mm-hmm.
right? You're
Exactly.
looking to get the likes and they love me, or you're looking to help and give something to them. I think if you change that focus alone is probably super powerful, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. No, totally. Let's move on to imposter syndrome, Neil. Have you ever had
Mhm.
imposter syndrome?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
I was just talking to somebody on a call today. We had a call with I've worked with her before. She's a contractor who renovates houses with her husband and her father. And she's got a business called Hers. And she's great and she's amazing and she does really good work and people love her. And she talked about having imposter syndrome just because she's in a predominantly male dominated field, much like photography.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's so funny to hear because she's successful and like hasn't even had to do marketing because people just love what she does and she just does a good job, but still she feels like maybe she doesn't match up somehow. And I'm like, who should have the imposter syndrome? You're doing all
Right.
this great work and all I ever hear is complaints about contractors all the time. Like, who's the imposter? I think it's all those other guys,
No
you
kidding.
know?
Yeah.
And yeah, and I told her that yeah, I have the same feeling. Look, when I see she loved the work I did for her in the past. We did a wedding film for her and her husband. They did this Viking wedding, which was amazing. They had fire pits and they were all dressed up like Vikings. It was insanely cool. It was so awesome.
That's so
And
cool.
they loved it. But still, when I see other people's work, there's always going to be people doing something newer, cooler, or better than you think you can do. And it may be better. And you're always going to feel inferior, but you still have something that when you give it to that person, they are happy and thrilled by it. So yeah, it's easy to nitpick yourself, but maybe just focusing on, how you're helping these people again is where
Yeah.
the difference lies.
Yeah. And so the definition of imposter syndrome is when you
Mm,
doubt your own skills and successes. You feel you're not as talented or worthy as others believe, and you're
hmm
scared that one day people will realize that. Although
hmm
it's not a mental health diagnosis, imposter syndrome can cause real harm in different areas of your life. When my son was born, I started like 6 months after he was born. I started this little business with one of my girlfriends, and we would sew baby blankets, these car seat blankets that would click in so they wouldn't fall out. We should have patented it. Probably would have been millionaires by now. We had like pacifier clips that we'd sew. My girlfriend was into scrapbooking, so she'd make cards. So it was all around like baby stuff, and we'd sell it at farmers markets. We were on Etsy. Um, we did Zulily. Anyways, it was fun. But when I started, my sister-in-law, we were talking about it, and I told her, I was like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe we're gonna be at a farmer's market." And she goes, "Rachel, just fake it till you make it. You got this." And that moment just gave me so much confidence. I was like, you know what? She's right. I obviously have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm just gonna go and give it my all and have fun with it. And I've carried that over when I started my photography business. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going to fake it till I make it. I'm going to pretend like I know. Obviously, don't be reckless, but like, I can shoot a house. How hard can it be? Yeah, I've only done one drone shoot before, but I'm going to nail this. Fake it till you make it.
hmm
And it's worked. So part of it, I think, too, is just knowing and believing in yourself. And it's so easy to get kind of down on ourselves and feel like we don't know the most, especially on social media, when you're seeing all of these creators out there who are doing such cooler work than you. Like I struggle with that a lot when I look on our Shooting the Shit podcast Instagram. It is all creators pretty much that we follow, Neil. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know you've been on there and looked, and it's so impressive to see what everyone's doing. And I get that imposter syndrome. I'm like, wow, I suck. And if people really found out like how bad our videos are, or how bad our photos really are, when in reality our photos and videos are great. Like I'm just being ridiculous.
Oh, we are our own worst critics.
Yeah, totally. So when we are putting out content online and you're starting to feel this little doubt come in your mind, like you're just not successful, you don't know what you're talking about, just remember that there is somebody that is 5 steps behind you. There's always somebody that needs the information that you have in your brain. You do not have to be the expert to start talking on camera about your subject. You just
Yeah.
have to know a little bit. And honestly, if you just learned something, give that person credit. Say, hey, I just watched this YouTube video by Rich Baum and I
Mm.
learned how to do this new flash technique and I want to show you guys how I'm doing it now. You know, now you're giving credit to the guy you learned it from and now you're showing how you're using it in your everyday life. So, yeah.
Yeah. Just be real and be honest and be humble too. Like, being on this podcast, Rachel's years ahead of me with where she is in her business, and we discuss stuff. And a lot of stuff that we discuss is honestly on my to-do list as well. So it doesn't mean that you have to be perfect and you have to have accomplished all these things. And when you see all these other people that maybe have, just also know that maybe they haven't. Maybe
Hmm.
they don't have it all together. And maybe it just looks that way.
Yeah.
And maybe they're still working on a lot too.
Yeah.
So,
And social media can be really deceiving. I mean, we call Facebook fake book because everybody just posts the good stuff. You don't see all the bad. And there are a lot of creators. I'll reach out and I'm like, hey, how you doing? They're like, oh my gosh, I'm drowning. Like I'm barely holding on. I haven't had a day off in 3 weeks. I'm exhausted. And you look at their Instagram and it's like, really? You look like you're just like on vacation every day and having a great life, you know? And it's just
yeah.
because you can put anything out there to create that perception of who people are. So just know the world, like everyone's real and everyone has real struggles. So you're not alone if you are
Yeah,
struggling.
and make a friend in your realm. You know, we
Hmm.
have the advantage to talk to each other and to get the real deal. And it's nice to hear somebody else have problems sometimes because you're like, well, I'm not alone. Okay, cool.
Hmm.
So,
Exactly.
and hopefully you get a little of that listening to us on here too, because it's not all roses
No.
at all.
Definitely not. And gosh, Neil, I keep talking about this. We have to do an episode on ADHD because as soon as I
Oh,
get the code cracked on how to fix it or how to like how I'm remedying it, because I've always known I've had ADD or ADHD. I've never been clinically diagnosed, but I mean, I started getting all these stupid reel suggestions on Facebook. So I've been watching all these reels on ADHD, and these chicks are like, don't you hate it when you do this and this and this? And I was like, oh my gosh, that's me. That's me. That's me.
mm,
That's me. I'm broken. Like, no wonder I've always been like, what's wrong with me? Like, why am I like this? Like, it drives me crazy. I'm like, yes, I am. I get hyper focused. That's one of the superpowers of having ADHD is you can hyper focus on a task and you
yeah.
can kick ass. And I have managed to just, I mean, I love photography. I love building businesses. I love setting up fun systems. Like that lights me up. So I hyper focus on those things. And that's how I built my business. Like, luckily, I found something I'm passionate about. If I am at least any bit not interested in one of the things I'm trying to build out, like cold DMing on Instagram, I'm not absolutely not interested, not going to do it no matter what you do. Like, no, not happening. It's like in class. If I'm not interested in the subject, I might as well just not be there because I'm going to get an F. Like, I don't care. Nothing you can do can make me give two poops. I'm
You know what I
trying
want to
not to
say is
swear.
the two poops. I know, shooting the shit, and she says poop. Uh,
Really
poop.
cleaning it up, you know, shooting the shit has really
Sorry,
helped.
shooting the poop. Uh, I was gonna
Changing
say
the
they're
name.
kind of like they're like evil geniuses though on social media doing short reels on ADHD or what ADD or whatever because they know you'll go down the rabbit hole and watch every single one of their videos in a row.
Yeah, and I relate to every single, well, most of them in a
Yeah.
row. And there's a name for all these different things that I do. And I'm like, what? So as soon as I was talking to Casey today, and I'm like, okay, so I watched one, and it's like me to a T. It's just ridiculous. And I'm like, my thing is these reels are great and all to like bring it to my attention, but now I'm like
What do you do
I'm
about
not
it?
medicating myself. One, absolutely not happening. Two, I am already on Joe Rogan's Alpha Brain stuff. I take that every day, which has all kinds of vitamins for your brain. And then I take my Doze coffee, which has more brain stuff in it. It's like I'm overdosed on brain stuff. But So I told her, I was like, but what, like, that's great to bring it to my attention, but like, what's the fix? Like, how do I do this? I'm like, I know there's games you can play every day that help with focus, and she's like, use her.
Even more evil. They keep telling you what you're terrible at and they give you no
I
solutions.
know, that's what I mean. That's why I'm going to come up with a solution that works for me and then go from there. But Casey, one of the biggest ones is that this is the one I really related to yesterday. We're totally off on a tangent. Sorry, guys. But this one was you have 500 things on your to-do list that are very important that need to get done this week. And you're so incredibly exhausted and lazy, you're laying in bed and you can't get anything done because you're so mentally drained because you've been thinking about those things all week and stressing about them. And you're doing everything else, but you're still that one task or 3 or 4 tasks have just been sitting on your to-do list and they're dry. You can't stop thinking about them. So you mentally are wearing yourself out, but you still can't find the energy to do it. Like that is me to a T. I'm like, I do that all the time. And I'm always like, I'm so tired. Like I'm exhausted. And it's because my brain doesn't freaking stop.
Wow.
Like I used to smoke weed. That turned it off. Neal, sorry, I have to interrupt. Real quick, I have one thing to talk to you about. All right.
Rachel.
I know. Okay. Have you had a client call you late at night trying to figure out how to get their video posted onto Instagram? They're like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
can't figure out how to get the video on Instagram. Can you help me? And I'm like, oh my gosh, you have to download it and email it to yourself, put it in a Dropbox
yeah.
folder or Google Drive. And they're like, I don't know how to do that. And I'm like, pull my hair out. Okay, we have a solution for you. HD Photo Hub came out with an app where
Yes.
your clients will download the app in the Apple Store or the Google Play Store. It's free for them to download and they can access all of their media from this app and download it straight onto their phone. All the photos, they can place orders online from the app. You're literally in their pocket and it makes it so easy for them.
And it's white labeled with your info. So it looks really cool that you have your own app. How cool is that? So, and what else is sick about this is because you're listening to Shooting the Shit, if you set up a configuration call with HD Photo Hub and mention Shooting the Shit that you heard about it from us, you're going to get a crazy discount. 33% discount, 1,000 credits for the app, which is a smoking deal.
It's
So
normally
pretty
1,500 credits, you guys.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's
Yeah,
such a
so
good
that's-
deal.
that's
Take
pretty
advantage.
sick.
Get the app today. And that's a one-time fee and you're done.
You're going to look slick too for all your clients. You got your own white labeled app. Who is this guy?
Right? You have an app? That is absolutely fabulous. No pun intended.
Cheers to that.
Okay, back to the show. Now
maybe the
sober
alpha
for 3
brain
months.
maybe the alpha brain is making that like a hyper scenario. You're making it worse.
No, I don't think so because
You need to do omega brain.
I know, right? Oh, geez, turn it off. The opposite.
The alpha and the omega brain.
Yeah. But honestly, smoking weed did help with that. And I haven't smoked weed in like 4 months. I don't drink alcohol
Maybe
anymore.
that is omega brain.
No.
That is the
Yeah.
original omega brain.
Yes. And I think part of it too is like I'm finally living like a true sober life. And so my brain is like I'm feeling everything. Everything, right? I have no like numbing or like no crutch that I'm using to like let
To
my
dull it,
brain.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm just reading the Bible and praying and meditating and working out a lot. So, which
Working
is
out
working.
can help. Working out can
Yeah.
help with that.
I mean,
Working,
praying
yeah.
and meditating works too, Neal.
That I don't know.
I don't know.
I only
Try it.
speak
I'm
my
telling
own
you.
truths.
The sauna is really great, but I only manage to get in there about once a week because I have too much to do and nothing ever gets done. It's great.
Oh, the
So-
sauna sounds good. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So as soon as I figure out all of the things that are working for me, I will bring them to you on the podcast when I'm on a
Good.
mission.
We'll have to find some that work then. Yes. Maybe
Okay.
you'll need to have your own channel all about that.
You know, I thought about doing it on my personal page. I've been really quiet on my personal page because I've been busy with other stuff. So, yeah, because I was posting a lot of like workout stuff and exercise stuff. I'm still on the meal plan of the 6-pack. It's going great. I feel fantastic. My body looks insane, but highly recommend it. We'll put a link below if you want to join the program I'm on and lose weight and look great.
If you want to do the 1-pack, I can write up a meal plan for you.
Perfect. Yeah, Neal's got you.
I got your back.
Don't go for 6. Just go for
Who
1.
needs 6?
It's 6 too many.
One's the way to go.
Yes. Overachievers. Come on. Anyways, I don't know what we were talking about,
I
but
don't know. All you need
yeah.
is one really good one, though. That's all.
Okay. Well, we probably will delete that part, but never know.
Probably. I don't
Neil's
know.
got his one
Whoa,
pack.
what the
I'll
hell
keep
were we
my
talking
six.
about?
You take your one. I don't know. I just keep that one.
ADHD took over as usual, and
Mm.
hence
See?
the name.
Another one too is like when you're in the middle of a conversation with someone and you like we do this to each other all
Oh,
the
you
time.
blurred out.
Yeah. And I'm like, if I don't say it now, I'm gonna forget. I write it. I take notes, but
We are the worst podcast partners for that
we
reason.
suck. We're awful.
Did I ever tell you my Abraham Lincoln story?
I think you have, but please tell me again.
Was it on the podcast? I can't remember.
Probably. We have so many episodes. I'm sure people won't mind if they hear
I
it
don't
again.
know. Well,
I can't even
Abraham Lincoln.
remember a movie after I
So,
watched after a year. It's
so
like
a long time ago, my girlfriend I had, she would get very frustrated that I would interrupt her in conversations, and she got mad at me, and we had a big talk about it. And I was like, I'm gonna do better. I'll stop interrupting you, because she felt like when I interrupted her, it meant that whatever she was saying wasn't important, right?
Mhm.
And so I really tried to do better at that. The problem was sometimes her stories would go over and around, and my ADD brain, and I'm going in my head like, I really want to say something. When can I say something? When can I say something, right? It was really hard. I had to mentally make a note like, don't interrupt. She's going to get upset. Pay
Mm.
attention. Try to listen to what she's saying. And maybe this is
So
every
hard.
male on the planet, but this one time we're driving in the car, and I see this person walking down the street, and he looks just like Abraham Lincoln, and we're driving towards him. I really want her to see. I know she hasn't seen him. I'm like, this is hilarious. It looks just like, and she's telling me this very important thing that's very important for her to explain. We've just had this conversation about not interrupting, and we're getting closer and closer, and finally we're about to pass, and I just yell, Abraham Lincoln!
You have told me this story. This is a great story. She broke
She's
up with
just
you.
like
That's it, Neil.
furious.
I'm done.
She was so mad. And I
Oh
was
my
just like,
God.
I'm sorry.
And they're like,
But
yeah,
it,
this isn't gonna work, is it?
but he looked like Abraham Lincoln.
Damn, I had to say something.
I didn't want you to miss it.
Right. Okay. All right. Let's get back to the podcast, Neil. Back to the topic.
Oh, we're doing a podcast?
We actually are. Yeah, it is shooting the shit, so we can do
Oh,
whatever
we
we
should
want.
help people get on camera.
Yeah, let's help you. We want you to be you. That is our next topic, to be yourself. We kind of touched on this already a little bit, but like it's people, like I said, follow you because you're different, because you're quirky, because you're fun. Someone that is a really, really good at this is Dom from Dom Does Media. He is so authentically, truly just himself, and he has no shame. And it's so refreshing to watch because he's just so real and so raw. And that's what's so good about it. It's like, it's fun to watch because he's a real person. You really get to understand what he's like as a person. He's quirky. He's got some weird things that he says. He's into cool things. You know, it's like, he's just fun to watch. You're like, I could watch you all day long, Dom.
Oh, that's
Fun
awesome.
fact. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a
Yeah,
lot of creators out there that do that, you know, but I think, I don't know. Go ahead. I know you were going to say something.
Oh, I was just saying, I think we all love when you fly your freak flag, because we can all relate. We all have a freak flag. We're all a little weird, I think, especially as media creators. So yeah, if you got the guts to put it out there, I think it's refreshing, because so many people are putting on the business face and trying to be as polished as they possibly can and never mess anything up. Yeah, that's boring.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, she's always just so perfect. Like,
So mess up and show people that you mess up.
yeah. And the blooper reels are the best.
Oh yeah,
They're
love
so fun.
bloopers and outtakes, right?
Me too. Yep. Yep. Actually, I made a video today. I went to just to get sidetracked again. I need to add the bloopers to the end of the reel. I went to an open
ADHD.
house and I was not planning. They asked me to shoot event photos and they were like, we have to make sure the budget's approved. I'm like, okay. And then I texted them yesterday. I'm like, am I shooting event photos for you for 4 hours tomorrow? And they were like, oh no, budget's not approved, but you should still come by. And I was like, okay. So I walk in the front door and the owner of the company is like, Rachel, hey, did you bring your camera? I'm like, no, I brought my dog and I'm in my workout clothes. Like, taking my dog for a walk. Like I got my phone and he was like, is that how you do all your media? And I said, no. I mean, a lot of it, but no. So anyways, while I was there, I thought, oh, that'd be fun to make a reel. I'm going to make a reel. So I made one. And the agent, I had him like walk out the front door like they were greeting me. just to make it look like it was off the cuff, like, random. Wasn't. And Tom just cannot do the line. I'm like, Tom, he comes out and he's like, hello, welcome to our townhomes. Da da da. And I'm like, dude, just talk to me like I'm a person. Forget the cameras here. Just say, hey, what's up, Rachel? We're at these townhomes. This is the first time they built anything in this community in 11 years. Like, I like just deliver. Anyways, there's some bloopers in there that would be hilarious to add to the end because that's the part that's fun to watch. It's like you want to laugh, you want to be entertained on social media when you're doing content. And not all of it needs to be like that, right? But to
Hmm.
sprinkle that in, you don't
Yeah.
have to be quirky and weird on everything. But I think it's important that you allow your personality come through. And it
Yeah.
could be like phrases and words, right? Like any hoot. Like I say that all the time, right? Or replacing your swear words with poop. That just shows a little bit of my personality.
It's true.
Or
It's
hearing
true.
someone's laugh and like just knowing that they're real
Yeah.
people. So,
So many times we hide our little quirks that make us us. Just yeah, I think this might be a stronger choice to embrace them. In
yeah.
improv, that was like a saying, stronger like let's stronger choice. And a lot of times stronger choice is different choice. And it's like a lot of times your first thought, oh, let's try a different take on that. So yeah, find something fun.
Yeah.
Find something different. I don't know. Just stop trying to hide everything about you that is unique and different, and maybe try to just fly your freak flag a little bit, which I cannot say. Save my life.
It's okay. It's okay. Neil, we got it out. We
See,
understood.
that's one of my
Uh,
own quirks. I'm
yes.
sorry.
It's fine. We love you. It's okay. I think they'll forgive you this time.
Maybe.
Let it fly, buddy. Let it fly. Woo. But I had a client one time. I was at a shoot. I don't even know what we were talking about, but because they come to like almost every shoot, and he was basically saying, I really enjoy chatting with you at these shoots because you always have some fun, interesting story to talk about. Like you always have these weird new things going on in your life. Because I'm not afraid to talk about my personal life with them, I'll
Were
like
you
tell them the
talking to him
story.
about the alien invasion, Rachel?
No, but that's coming and it's fake. So don't believe everything you see on TV, kids. But anyways, no. Like my cat was in heat last week and
Oh,
I
Jesus
told one of my
Christ.
clients about it. And it's like so inappropriate, but so funny and so true. And everyone's experienced that. Well, most people have. So it's pretty
Uh,
funny. Anyways, it's things like that. Like just be yourself, have fun, just be authentic to who you are and let it come through because honestly, there's so much noise on social media. It's like, how are you going to break through? What's going to make someone want to stay on your content and watch your video? Is it that you make it fun and you're quirky and you're different? Are you popping out real quick and doing something crazy to make it look different?
hmm,
Are you bringing in some of your vulnerability and talking about some struggles that you've had in your life that have really transformed you? Like getting vulnerable on camera will build you an audience faster than anything, honestly. Which we
yeah.
have a guest we're going to have on who has an incredible story that he's going to share with us. Neil, I haven't even told you about this guy yet.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, the screenshot from earlier today. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I'm
Awesome.
excited.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
He
Cool.
was
Cool.
so
Cool.
cute. He's like, I'll know I've made it when I get on the Shooting the Shit podcast. I was like, dude, you should be a guest. You'd be great. You have a great story.
He's
Anyways,
coming on.
we're
Love
getting
it.
him on too.
Yes.
But
Exciting.
yeah, being a little vulnerable is really impactful. Like I did when I first started this business, I had kind of this fun, rags to riches story where I had nothing and I got divorced and really had to start from scratch
Hmm.
and built my business and got it up and running in 3 months. And that divorce story related to so many people. They were like, "Oh, I went through a divorce too,"
Yeah.
and they know how hard that can be. I mean, that is not a fun time in your life. It's
Yeah.
very
I
difficult.
I heard somebody say, some of the best things you can talk about are things that are taboo, things that we don't normally talk about in
Yes.
public, right? And then
Hmm.
another thing was to talk like you're talking to a friend,
Hmm.
talk like you're giving an inside scoop to a client, or like you would in person, right? Or talk like you're talking to your therapist.
Oh.
All strong. I was like, oh, therapist. I like that one. Like, oh yeah,
Hmm.
what would you say to your therapist? Like that could be the drama from your day. People want to hear it. They want to
Yeah.
hear it, right?
Okay. This is my drama dump for the day. Here we go. That should be a new series. Every day we do a drama dump.
Drama dump. This this happened today.
Did that? No,
Dead
that's
drone.
old.
No, that's
His
old.
drone's leg is broken, like
But that
dangling
would be a
slowly off the
perfect
drone.
example, like admitting that you crashed your drone. So
Yeah,
this happened, like,
right.
oh, geez, what happened? Like, that's taboo.
Yeah.
You wouldn't probably want it, like the fact I didn't want to talk about when I had to have a truckload of firemen come take my drone out of a tree.
Right? Like it's kind of embarrassing, makes me look like I'm not a good
Yeah.
pilot, but people love hearing a crash story, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they do. So
Yep.
anyway,
All right. Last but not least is positive energy. When you are going to film for the day, you need to be sure that you have prepared. Your clothes are set out the day before. You know
mm,
what you're going to wear. Your lines are ready to go. Your outline's done. You know what you're going to do so that you can just focus on being positive that morning. Work
yeah.
out, meditate, go in the sauna, whatever you have to do in the
Mm,
morning to prepare yourself to be in a very positive attitude, very positive mindset. Because when you come to your shoot with that high energy and you're just like bopping around, you got the music going, you're excited to be there, it's going to come through in your video big time.
yeah. And for your mindset, focus on the one person who needs to hear whatever that is you're going to say today. Maybe they need a laugh, or maybe that this little tool or piece of education you're going to give to them is going to help them. There could be 10 other people that already knew that, but the one person that it helps is who you're going to focus on.
Yes. Yes. This kind of brings me, I've just started a new series on our Instagram called Mindset
Mhm.
Minute with Rachel Ann. So every week I'm going to come
Yes.
on and give a little mindset hack. I had my original course that I was working on years ago, which just kind of got bulldozed and taken over by other things. Part of my course was going to be 1 minute long. It's called Mindset Minute. And it was 1 minute long little hacks. And new one would open up, unlock every day. So you'd listen to this 1 minute audio every day. And it would give you just a little mindset hack, something you could try for the day. Like one of them is, which I'll do a video on this, but one of them is to make your day fun. So when you're in the shower, maybe you sing a song when you wash your hair. Like make it fun. Whatever you do, just make the day fun. Whatever you that means.
That's a
Maybe when
fun
you're
one.
in the kitchen, you don't walk through the kitchen, you dance through the kitchen. Or maybe you walk backwards because that's different. I don't know. Maybe you blow dry your hair with your left hand instead of your right hand just to make it fun and interesting and hard. I don't know. Just whatever you
I,
can do throughout your day to make it fun.
I
So
think I'm going to do that one. Yeah.
try it, please. Blow dry your hair with your left hand.
It sounds fun.
It's going to look wild, Neil. You actually have long hair.
Yeah. Yeah. It actually does stick out pretty high. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I have long hair, just not a lot of it.
it's okay.
It's a
It's okay.
fleeting thing.
All right.
The older you get.
Yeah, and you're getting a lot of white, I see,
Oh yeah.
coming in. Yep.
Yeah. Look at that.
Yep. Silver
Huh?
fox. Watch out.
Earned it, baby. Earned it.
Woo!
Hey
Shows
yo.
wisdom, Neil. These are wisdom lines happening.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Girl, you getting some wisdom? I see nobody wants to hear
Right?
that.
Girl, you look really wise. You're like, thank you. I think.
Thank you.
Doesn't that mean old? Hmm.
I look really wise. Hmm.
The next one is to know that you are going to make a mistake. You are going to kind of suck at this when you first start.
Yeah.
You're not going to be great. And that's okay. That is part of the process. And honestly, you improve pretty quickly. It's been so fun over the years to watch people who all of a sudden hop on video and you see them in stories and their camera's too low. You can see up their nose. It's bad lighting. And then the next video, their camera's up higher. And you're like, oh, they figured it out, And then the next video, they have better lighting. Then they get an audio kit. And you just watch the progression of them slowly getting better on video. And it's like, hey. And then after they've gone through that whole, learning curve, getting better, now they're freaking crushing it.
Oh
And they're
yeah.
right. And they're,
I've
it's
seen a
like
bunch of
their
people on
messaging
social
gets
media.
better. And
Yeah.
so it
Yeah.
just takes time, but it's so fun to watch that journey. And here's what's cool about documenting the journey is people are going to reach out to you along the way and say, hey, I've had this happen to me multiple times. It's been so fun to watch you on social media. You've grown so much. I love watching your journey. And that just encourages you to keep going. It's like Rome was not built in a day. Your empire is not going to be built in a day. So it's just those baby steps that get you then one step further, one step closer.
Is it weird that people reach out to me and say, I can't wait to see when you do grow? Is that bad?
Neil. It's okay, Neil. Neil needs a hug.
Kidding. We've been watching you stay the same for years and we just love it.
It's okay. You're growing. Oh my gosh.
We're all growing together.
Yes,
Like a
we
big
are.
family.
Yes, we are. We are, for sure. My team's been the same size forever, I feel like. Well, the last 2 years have been tough too. So, yeah, don't get down on yourself for not
No.
being a massive company. And you are growing. Look how good you are on video now, Neil. And you're getting your agents on video. You're growing. You're doing broker things, presentations.
I'm growing in ways
You're growing.
undetected, but so soon,
You're making
soon,
more money too. Don't say you're not growing.
soon you
Just
will
because your business
see.
doesn't triple every year doesn't mean you're not
You
doing
will see
good,
the iceberg beneath the water.
right?
It's coming. It's
Okay.
coming.
The most brokers that I do agent intros with, they take like 10 to 20 takes before they get it right. Honestly,
Mm,
like no
yeah.
joke. And it's because most of them are just starting out. So just know you're not going to get it right the first time, and that's okay. Just make sure you're correcting one little thing each time that you make a video. One thing I've noticed with myself when I watch my videos back, the first time I watch it, this happens with master plan episodes. This happens with, well, the podcast I just listened to, but reels and stuff that I make, talking heads. The first time I watch it, I am so critical. I'm like cringing the whole time. I'm like, oh my gosh, I look so bad. My lines suck. Like, why don't I move my hands more? Like, I look like a statue. Okay, that line sounded fake. Then I make myself watch it again. And the second time I watch it, I'm more gracious. I'm like, oh, actually, this looks really good. And I start looking for more of the positives versus just worrying about myself. And I'm like, was the message good? Like, how is this going to be perceived by my audience? Like, the
Mm,
video production was done well, right? The B-roll over it looks really good to help tell the story. And then by the third time I watch it, I love it usually. But it's so crazy to me how, like, the first time that we watch our videos, it's like we're so critical and we hate it. And the more you watch it, the more you kind of warm up to it. And I think it's just kind of getting used to watching yourself on video too, can be kind of taxing on your ego. We have this idea in our brain of how we want it to look, and it doesn't always come out the way that we envision.
mm,
So just giving yourself some grace and taking that as a learning opportunity where, like, it might not be perfect this time, but guess what? Next time I am now going to say like no times, right? Like no more. um, but that, and then even if it's not perfect, you have to post it. I have found like so many times
yeah.
I don't want to post it because I'm like, oh, this sucks. But I just spent all this time on it and it's a good idea and it's a good message. Just post it. It's like posting it and having content is better than perfection and not having
Yeah.
content. So,
Yeah. Help you be more consistent.
yes.
That's a big part of it is just doing it. It's all practice.
Yeah. And this is a huge skill to learn. This is not something, there's like body language, there's enunciation, lighting, gear, camera angle, B roll,
Diction.
mess. What'd you say? Addiction?
No, diction without the addiction, not addiction,
What's
diction.
what's diction?
Diction is saying your words clearly,
Oh, right.
enunciation and diction.
Yes. Oh, messaging is a huge one. Like, who is your target market? Who are you talking to? Understanding your point of view statement, like what positioning you're coming from, how you deliver your lines, like what you should be saying, what you shouldn't be saying. Learning about hooks, having multiple hooks now in content is the new thing I keep finding and learning more about. I'm like, no, I need 2 or 3 hooks. I'm like, oh boy, okay. Like I just got one down. And knowing about call to actions and how to get people to do something, right? You
Yeah.
want them to do something, you gotta tell them to do something. But like
But
there's so
yeah,
many things to learn.
but I have a big but. Wait,
What?
what? Um,
You do?
I want to
I
say,
never say it.
there's so, no one's ever seen my big butt. It doesn't exist. I have none of that. What I do want to say though, my big butt is verbal. There's so much that you could do and that you can focus on. Just maybe choose one or two of those to get right in that video and accomplish those and then add on so that at least you get going because it's so easy to get
Yes.
caught up in the perfection and the I needed 3 hooks.
Right.
Start with your one hook and then maybe you can build on that because I think there is a big tendency to try and do it all right the first time. Odds of that are so slim and so overwhelming and so much pressure. Like just get a simple message across first and then maybe you're not great at your descriptions. Work on your descriptions after. I'm still working on my descriptions. I still stink at those. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah, no, there's so many things, but honestly, yeah, like I said, it's not we'll talk about it more in the next episode of like tips to actually get you going, which will kind of fill in a lot of these gaps and kind of bring all this together. But yeah, it's overwhelming, but at the same time, you got to just start now. And the point is you're not going to be perfect, and that's okay, but you'll keep improving over time. And once you start doing this, you will get a lot of attention from people that are proud of you and excited to hear from you on social media. You're going to start getting more engagement on your social media. You're going to start more conversations. You're going to build more leads. You're going to build stronger relationships. And you're probably going to find some friends along the way. So highly encourage you to get on there and start in stories. That's the easiest place to start. There's no pressure.
Yeah. Can't wait to see you guys on social media, right? We're excited to see you.
Yes. And if you
Put your
want
face out there.
Yes, and if you guys want 365 content ideas for 2025 and 150 viral hooks and 93 call to actions to help you get going with your content, you can buy our content calendar bundle for 19 doll hairs. And the link is below.
Doll hairs.
Doll hairs. My son says that, and I just have totally adopted it.
I love doll hairs. That's hilarious.
I know.
Yeah.
19 doll hairs. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Check out Grow with Rach and Neal, guys. So there's other stuff there too. Check it out.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome. Well, check us out next time for the third and final part of getting on camera, which is going to be tips and techniques, ways to help you succeed on camera.
Yes, and I'm laughing because Neil and I have tried to do this outro 4 times and we finally got it. Thank you for doing it, Neil. Appreciate it. All right, guys, have a great day. Go crush it and get your butt on camera. I'll see you soon.
Get it.
Bye.